How to create a self-paced Kahoot and add it to your LMS. This is part 3 of the micro-learning lesson series on Kahoot. Our target audience, online instructors. This micro-lesson will be delivered online asynchronously, and I'll use Articulate Storyline to develop it. Learners will use the Kahoot app or the Kahoot.com from any web browser. And at the end of the lesson, they will create a Kahoot challenge, which they can choose to post on either Google Classroom or Canvas LMS. This lesson plan features 4 instructional strategies: gaming or gamification, direct instruction, compare and contrast, and graduated difficulty. Now let me walk you through my lesson plan. First, the students will hear a hook that will connect this lesson with the previous micro-learning lesson topic. Then they will see the learning objectives on their screen. Now the students will learn about what is a student-paced game and why. So if you look at the screen, on your left you will see a definition paragraph, and on the right there is a 1-minute video tutorial that explains what the functions are and features of a self-paced Kahoot. This slide in particular is a good example of the UDL principle of multiple means of representation, because on your left you see text and on your right you see video with audio narration. So the use of visual media in the form of videos with audio narration, infographics, animated text, and storyline simulation in this lesson plan address the principle of providing multiple means of representation. Then the students will play an actual Kahoot game. So this is the first knowledge check in this lesson plan. And there are only 3 questions that will basically review the key concepts from the video or from the previous slide. But this particular knowledge check applies the instructional strategy of gaming or gamification, because the learners earn points and compete with one another and win, and so this is a very engaging activity. Next, the learners will watch a 1-minute video that models the step-by-step process of creating and assigning a self-paced Kahoot challenge. This video also contains tips and specific instructions that directly teach the learners how to complete the process. So the instructional strategy applied in this slide particularly is direct instruction. It includes modeling and direct teaching or direct instruction. After watching the video, there's another knowledge check. So here the students will have to put the steps in order. This is a summarizing task. So the next step is to add the Kahoot challenge to your LMS. And here the learners are presented with 2 options. They could choose to learn and complete the activity for Google Classroom or Canvas LMS, whichever is relevant to their workplace or interest. The video tutorials also allow for learner control. Learners could adjust the speed, volume, and add captions or subtitles to help them better understand the process. So allowing different options here basically applies the UDL principle of multiple means of engagement. After learning all the steps, now it's time to practice. So they will continue with guided practice, and the guided practice in my lesson plan is a simulation activity using Articulate Storyline's trial mode. So basically they're going to see screenshots of the actual Kahoot account, and they will be instructed to click on specific buttons. You know, for example here, click the play button, so that they can practice and go through the steps one more time. So this is guided practice, and again it applies the instructional strategy of direct instruction. So after the guided practice, now we're going to move on to the assessment section, and there are 2 parts. Part 1 covers the features and benefits of a self-paced Kahoot, and this is the first learning objective. So in this activity, the learners will complete a drag and drop interaction, and there are 2 categories. On the left we have live Kahoot quiz, and then on the right self-paced Kahoot, and the items on the bottom are all features and functions of the 2 types of Kahoot modes. So now the learners have to sort these items and put them in the right category. This interaction also applies the instructional strategy of compare and contrast, because here you are comparing and contrasting two categories. So for the second part of the assessment, the learners have to create a self-paced Kahoot by logging into their Kahoot account, and once they completed the steps, they're going to copy and paste the Kahoot link here in the box and submit it for feedback. So this assessment actually addresses the main outcome of this lesson plan, or the second learning objective. And then for the final activity, this is an independent practice. Again, it's part of the direct instruction strategy. The learners will be presented with an optional LMS activity. So here they can practice the steps again, and then they can add the extra steps of assigning the Kahoot link to either their Google Classroom or Canvas LMS.